Thank you for also introducing us to Yunus Emery through lockdown. It was a great help spiritually to see the Sheikh with his disciple Babaji.
Beta, all these people, I mean, I don't think so spirituality is restricted to one country. So every country has their own religious tradition. Probably before the onset of television and all these YouTube and these plays, we were not aware of that. But in the Sufi tradition, so there is so much value in all this, which is now coming in the form of these plays or these movies. And in Turkey, especially, they had this tradition. I mean, good old days, it was not the ruler who looked after the administration. It was the local sheikh, so who kept a balance between the spiritual aspect, right and wrong, and the materialistic was left to the others. So the courts were held by the sheikhs. You never had any judicial system as such. The sheikhs decided, so that they kept the spiritual traditions in mind and what is right and wrong before passing judgment. But I think if you've seen this play with attention, one of the things that comes out, okay, there's nothing right and there's nothing wrong. Again, it's a perspective. One man's food can be another man's poison. So looking at it from one point of view, it seems wrong. Looking at it from the other point of view, it seems right.
Yeah. And give us the wisdom and strength to go through what we're going through as a family at the moment, Babaji. Thank you.
Hazur, I want to merge with God, so I'm meditating. The one who is
You can never do it. The moment you said, I want to merge with God, finished. Because there is no difference. It's not that God is separate and you are separate and the two have to come together. You see, the moment you think of it like that, end of subject. No possibility. Say, I have to realize. In Bani we read, Atam mein Ram, Ram mein Atam, Chinas Kur Vichara. Yani ki in the soul is the Lord, and the Lord is in the soul, but few have been able to realize it. So what we are seeking is a realization. Not that they are distinct. This word Paramatma, Param Atma, the first soul. So it's like the ray of light. You think the ray of light has any identity separate from the sun? Can it exist without the sun?
No.
It's just a projection of the sun. Sun can exist without the ray of light. The ray of light can't exist without the sun. So all that we are seeking is a realization that there is no distinction, there is no difference. But the moment I say, I have to do this, I have to reach this, all our life we've made goals and we are trying to achieve those goals. I don't have to go anywhere. I just have to feel the present. I have to feel His presence within me. He's there.
Baba, if you dissolve yourself while you're meditating, is that the correct way to achieve this?
But dissolving again means two distinct things.
Too.
Maharaji always in Satsang gave the example of the drop of water and the ocean. So, the drop of water is part of the ocean.
Yeah.
It's only like, it's like, Jiu jal tarang uthe pahupati phir salale sang samayenda. With the wind, the wave comes out of the ocean. And for some time we think of it as a wave and the ocean as separated. But can the wave exist without the ocean?
No.
It's part and parcel of the ocean, na?
Yeah.
That's how you have to think of it. If you think of separation, if you think of, a goal, he's there, I am here, then you are making the journey difficult. But if I think I am there, I just need to be aware of it.
That's what I'm trying to do, Babaji, right?
That's what our meditative process is. That's why we call meditation taking your attention through the eye of the needle. Just what we need is that in Bible, Christ says, be still and know that I am God. So it's awareness. That stillness will take you through the eye of the needle.
Radhaswami Babaji, do masters sometimes take on their disciples' karmas?
No,
Doesn't
he
love
can.
doesn't love make the masters automatically do that?
Why would the law want to change his own law? He's created the law of creation. He wants to break his own law.
Wouldn't a father for a child do anything?
That's what I said. He can, but he won't. Because then the child won't learn. Sometimes the child makes a mistake, only then he learns. If a child never makes a mistake, there's very little learning that will take place. When a child is born, he falls, he gets up, he falls, he gets up. That's how he learns how to walk.
I was always told that love has no barriers. I was always told that love has no barriers.
It doesn't have.
No,
But you create them.
that's it.
In reality, there are no barriers, but mentally I create them.
Do saints ever tell you the truth?
Do
saints, masters ever tell you the truth?
you won't be able to accept it.
No, you won't be able to accept it.
You won't. So they will not tell a lie, but whatever they present will be presented in a manner that is acceptable to us. For example, you are in this room. If I ask you what is the source of light, you will point to this tube light. Now, it's not a lie, but it's neither the full truth. If you step out of the room, you can see the sun, the moon, then you realize there are other sources of light. So whilst you were not wrong, but that was only part of the truth. So we have to have the capacity to be able to realize the full truth before he puts it in front of us. Today we don't have that capacity. If I told you the truth about everything, you would probably be in shivers just now. ਜੀ
ਬਾਬਾ ਜੀ ਰਾਧਾ ਸਵਾਮੀ ਮੌਕਾ ਦੇਣ ਦਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਬਹੁਤ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ। ਬਾਬਾ ਜੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਇੱਕ ਆਵਾਜ਼ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਕਿ ਚੱਲਦੀ ਰਹਿੰਦੀ ਹੈ, ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕਰਦੀ ਆ, ਜਿਹਨੂੰ ਆਪਾਂ ਮਨ ਜਾਂ ਮਨ ਦੀ ਆਵਾਜ਼ ਜਾਂ ਥਿੰਕਿੰਗ ਪ੍ਰੋਸੈਸ ਵੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ, ਇਹਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਨੇਚਰ ਆ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਮਾੜਾ ਸੋਚਦੀ ਆ, ਕਈਆਂ ਦੇ ਦਿਲ ਵਿੱਚ ਚੰਗਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਆ, ਅਤੇ ਇਹ ਨੇਚਰ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਬਣਦੀ ਆ ਆਪਣੇ ਪੁਰਾਣੇ ਕਰਮਾਂ ਦੇ ਹਿਸਾਬ ਨਾਲ ਜਾਂ ਇਹ ਆਪਣੇ ਇਸ ਜਨਮ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਡੋਪਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ?
ਬੇਟਾ ਮਨ ਬੜੀ ਛੇਤੀ ਪ੍ਰਭਾਵਿਤ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ। ਹਰ ਵਕਤ ਭਾਵੇਂ ਇਹ ਜਨਮ ਹੈ ਭਾਵੇਂ ਪੁਰਾਣੇ ਜਨਮ ਹੈ, ਇਹਨੇ ਅਲੱਗ-ਅਲੱਗ ਪ੍ਰਭਾਵ ਲਿੱਤੇ ਹੋਏ ਹਨ, ਚੰਗੇ ਮਾੜੇ, ਉਹ ਸਾਰੇ ਇਕੱਠੇ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਸੋਚ ਨੂੰ ਪੈਦਾ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ। ਔਰ ਜਿਹੋ ਜਿਹੀ ਸੋਚ ਹੈ, ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਚੰਗੀ ਹੋਊਗੀ, ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਮੰਦੀ ਹੋਊਗੀ, ਉਸ ਹਿਸਾਬ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਆਪਾਂ ਨਤੀਜੇ 'ਤੇ ਪਹੁੰਚਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਔਰ ਉਹੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਰਮ ਹਨ ਉਹ ਇਕੱਠੇ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਕਿਸਮਤ ਬਣਦੀ ਹੈ। ਸੋ ਹੁਣ ਆਪਾਂ ਇੱਕਦਮ ਤਾਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਸਾਫ਼ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਬੇਟਾ।
ਹਾਂਜੀ।
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪਾਣੀ ਦਾ ਗਲਾਸ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਲਾਲ ਸਿਆਹੀ ਪਾ ਲਓ ਤਾਂ ਉਹਦਾ ਇੰਟੈਗਰਲ ਪਾਰਟ ਬਣ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਉਹ ਲਾਲ ਰੰਗ। ਅਸੀਂ ਸੋਚੀਏ ਕਿ ਜੀ ਇਹ ਤਾਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਤੋਂ ਗਲਤੀ ਹੋ ਗਈ, ਪਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅਲੱਗ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। ਮਗਰ ਆਪਾਂ ਕੀ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਜੇ ਹੋਰ ਪਾਣੀ ਪਾਈ ਜਾਵਾਂਗੇ, ਹੋਰ ਪਾਣੀ ਪਾਈ ਜਾਵਾਂਗੇ, ਆਪਾਂ ਉਸ ਲਾਲ ਰੰਗ ਨੂੰ ਡਾਇਲਿਊਟ ਕਰਨਾ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕਰ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਔਰ ਆਹਿਸਤਾ ਆਹਿਸਤਾ ਇੰਨਾ ਡਾਇਲਿਊਟ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਉਹਦੀ ਲਾਲੀ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਦਿਖਾਈ ਦਿੰਦੀ। ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਹੁਣ ਜੋ ਤਾਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਪੁਰਾਣੇ ਕਰਮ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਵੱਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਗਾ। ਮਗਰ ਜੇ ਅੱਗੇ ਤੋਂ ਚੰਗਾ ਸੋਚਾਂਗੇ, ਚੰਗਾ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ, ਚੰਗੇ ਪ੍ਰਭਾਵ ਪੈਣਗੇ, ਤਾਂ ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਪੁਰਾਣੀ ਸੋਚ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਡਾਇਲਿਊਟ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਜਾਊਗੀ। ਪੋਜ਼ਿਟਿਵ ਕਰੋਗੇ ਪੋਜ਼ਿਟਿਵ ਨਤੀਜਾ ਮਿਲੂਗਾ, ਨੈਗੇਟਿਵ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਨੈਗੇਟਿਵ ਮਿਲੂਗਾ।
ਫਿਰ ਦੂਜਾ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਇਹ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਆਪਾਂ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਨਾਮਦਾਨ ਲਈ ਅਪਲਾਈ ਕਰੀਦਾ ਅਤੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਬੁੱਕਸ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਹੈਗੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਪੜ੍ਹਨ ਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ, ਅਤੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਅੱਜ ਕੱਲ੍ਹ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਮਿਹਰ ਨਾਲ YouTube ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਆਡੀਓ ਵੀ ਬੁੱਕਸ ਕਾਫੀਆਂ ਆ ਗਈਆਂ ਨੇ, ਅਤੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਉਹ ਸੁਣ ਕੇ ਨਾਮਦਾਨ ਲਈ ਅਪਲਾਈ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ।
ਮਕਸਦ ਬੇਟਾ, ਮਕਸਦ ਨੂੰ ਧਿਆਨ ਰੱਖੋ। ਮਕਸਦ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਆਪਾਂ ਅੱਖਾਂ ਖੋਲ੍ਹ ਕੇ ਕਦਮ ਰੱਖੀਏ, ਕਿਸੇ ਦੇ ਪ੍ਰਭਾਵ ਦੇ ਨੀਚੇ ਆ ਕੇ ਨਹੀਂ। ਮੇਰੇ ਕੋਲ ਹੀ ਕੋਈ ਆਇਆ ਕਿ ਜੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਨਾਮਦਾਨ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਮੇਰੇ ਮਾਂ ਪਿਓ ਸਤਸੰਗੀ ਹੈ, ਮੈਂ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਲੈਣਾ। ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਕਿ ਮਾਂ-ਬਾਪ ਕੀ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੀ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹੋ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਬੇਟਾ ਇਹ ਕਰਨੀ ਦਾ ਰਸਤਾ ਹੈ। ਜਿੰਨਾ ਚਿਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਸੋਚ ਸਮਝ ਕੇ ਕਦਮ ਨਹੀਂ ਚੁੱਕਾਂਗੇ, ਆਪਣੇ ਉਸ ਕਦਮ ਨੂੰ ਅਪਣਾਵਾਂਗੇ ਨਹੀਂ, ਨਿਭਾਇਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾਊਗਾ। ਸੋ ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਮਕਸਦ ਇਹੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਆਪਾਂ ਸੋਚ ਸਮਝ ਕੇ ਜਾਣ ਕੇ ਤਾਂ ਕਦਮ ਚੁੱਕੀਏ।
Radha Swami Babaji, recently I've found a lot of peace reading the Japji Sahib. And basically, you know, it's common practice to read it in the morning only. So my question really is, how strict are the rules to only read it in the morning?
No, that was not the idea. You know, actually Japji Sahib is the, you can see the entire Granth Sahib is an explanation of the Japji Sahib. So Japji Sahib is the core and it is elaborated in the rest of the Bani. But it is not just the reading, it is understanding. Now, if I take a cookbook and I start reading it, will I be able to satisfy my hunger? I must practice what I am reading, na?
Yes.
So you can read it at any time. The morning time was explained to us more because the mind is fresh. There are less distractions. There's a better focus. You know, at any other time of the day, there are so many things which are going on in our mind. So that is the only reason. But to say that somebody you love, there's a set time or a set place that you have to remember them, you remember them all the time.
Okay. Radha Swami Babaji.
Radha Swami Babaji. Spiritually, we understand that everything stems and leads to karma. So with spirituality in mind, how should we handle or deal with relationships or people around us, especially when they hurt us or break our trust or just take up a lot of space in our mind? And how do we view and learn from this and move ahead in spirituality?
But I don't think so that anybody consciously would want to hurt the others all the time. Circumstances are such. Sometimes there's frustration in what you want to do, what you can achieve, what is not happening. And all these things added together create a certain mindset which makes us react. It's not right, but it happens. I don't think so there's anybody who has not reacted. All of us react better. Now, some of us are in better control of our minds and some of us are not. So I don't think so genuinely anybody wants to hurt anybody. Circumstances. Yes, whatever we do will create karma, good or bad. Now for the other people, somebody has the ability to hurt you only if you are weak. If you are strong, no matter what anybody says, no matter what anybody does, nothing is going to happen. But if I'm weak, then every little word, every thing that somebody says is going to affect me.
Babaji, I have a question on behalf of somebody. So somebody told me yesterday to ask you that in their household, their children want to use vegan salt, but they rather use normal salt. So how far, the question I think is how far
What is the difference? I don't know what is vegan salt.
So I think to preserve salt, something is used that is probably an animal, has some animal content or something, where she would just rather use the normal salt. So she said,
See,
how
beta,
far should we go with
like,
this?
see, the truth is that every action of ours, every thought of ours creates karma. But if I am going to start nitpicking in everything, I'm never going to be able to get down to my meditation. But if I do my meditation, I focus on my meditation, that meditation will give me the strength to be able to sustain myself. That is why only certain general guidelines are given to you. But if we keep on going into these little sort of aspects of life and become so particular on everything, you will never be able to. In a manner, it is right. I mean, if you see the Vedic lifestyle, they've divided everything into tamasic, rajasic,
Yeah.
So it's like chilies. Chilies tend to disturb the mind. Chilies create heat in the system. So in a manner that is not good, that on one side you want to sort of control your mind and the other side you are eating something that is activating the mind. So if we are going to come to nitpicking, then we probably should be sitting in a house, not doing anything, not going out, not wearing any leather, not wearing any clothes or anything.
So it's a personal decision.
So it's a personal decision as to how much burden you can take. Everybody's strength is different. So I would rather that we first create that capacity before you try and go to such extremes. So first control the mind, create that capacity before you try and put all this into practice.